Hey everyone, exciting news. We've officially launched the Paranoid Perspective Patreon. If you love what we do, unpacking conspiracies, chasing mysteries, and laughing through the weirdness, now you can support the show and get more of it.
So, for as little as $5 a month, you will get exclusive access and extra perks to the episode. Sarah, what do we get with tier one?
So, tier one is the Curious Minds, and you get a shout out at the end of every episode.
Next tier, this is what you guys really probably want, ad free episodes. We don't need those pesky ads that you guys are getting on Spotify, Apple, whatever else. You will get all episodes ad free, along with what else, Sarah?
You'll also get it ahead of time. So before the episode releases for that week, it'll be available for you to watch or listen.
So, if you guys are interested, check in the show notes down below, or you can head to patreon.com/ the Paranoid Perspective Podcast. Welcome back to the Paranoid Perspective. I'm Jake.
And I'm Sarah.
Sarah, once again, you and I have very interesting lives, and we're going to hash out an aspect of that interesting, quote unquote, interesting part of life.
Right. Yeah.
And possibly dig up some deep-seated trauma that you've experienced.
Yeah.
Therapy session and all we're going to have,
Right.
you know? So what do we...
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows if I'll cry? Then it'll be over.
Yeah,
I think I'll be fine.
listeners, if for some reason we have to cut this episode short, I hope you understand. Yeah, let's get into it. Sarah, what are we talking about today?
So we're going to talk about when I had a stalker situation, and that was like 2022.
Yeah.
3 years ago. Hopefully long enough to just to laugh about it, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, at the time, it's kind of like your cult thing, like we were talking a little bit before this. It's like I knew what was happening, but I don't know what happened. You know, it's like I've
Yeah.
got the third party from, our mom and dad. And I remember the first time I heard about it, I had called dad and he was all like, "Jake, if I call you and I say we're going to Chicago, I need you up here." And I said, "Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, man. I got you. Let's hit it."
My gosh, that's funny. Yeah, he said something like that to me too about like you guys almost came up for
Yeah.
real, but
Yeah.
okay, well, yeah, I thought it maybe could tie into Stalker Awareness Month, but that's January, but I just want to talk
Oh,
about it now, so we're
well,
just gonna talk about it.
we can be aware of stalkers throughout the year.
Exactly. Yeah, it never hurts to talk about it, and maybe this can help someone if I talk about it. I don't know. First, I wanted to go over some facts that I found in like a PDF, and that'll be linked in the description. And I'm just going to go over some of them that I found like really surprising, I guess. Oh, every year, 13.5 million people are stalked in the US.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Well,
like that's insane.
I wonder what kind of, like, to what extent. Like, I'm not trying to undermine
Yeah.
anybody's experience by any means, but it can't all be like, those can't be all extreme cases where it's like dangerous situations. You know what I mean? Like very, very dangerous
Right.
situations.
They'd have to be reported somehow, though.
True.
I guess. Well, it's an estimated. I don't know how they estimated that, I guess. This all comes from stalkingawareness.org.
Oh,
So I'd have to ask them where they're getting their facts. But nearly 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men have experienced stalking victimization at some point in their lifetimes. So probably know someone besides me who has had it.
more than
Just
likely.
listeners probably know someone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And 11% of stalking victims have been stalked for 5 years or more,
Jesus
which,
Christ, man.
yeah. I feel like that's where, because I kind of thought it'd be hard to have people believe you, right? Because that's kind of what they say. But maybe that's what
Sure.
I'm thinking of, this 11% or something. And then it said weapons are used to harm or threaten victims 1 out of 5 cases.
Holy shit, that is super high.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting it to be like that.
right. Yeah, and almost 1 in 3 stalkers have stalked someone before the
So it's a
victim. So
repeat.
it's like a
Yeah.
pattern.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and it said intimate partner stalkers are the most likely to approach, threaten, and harm their victims because you have that relationship, I guess.
Yeah, it's
So
not
they feel more comfortable.
it wouldn't be like I'm a mega fan of this social media influencer and
Yeah,
I
no.
have this interpersonal relationship that I think we have, but in person I'm not going to act the same, you know.
Right. Yeah. So those are kind of some of the facts. I mean, there's a lot on the PDF, so I didn't want to go all of it, but okay, so we can talk about what happened to
Okay,
me.
let's talk about
So
it.
so Saturday, April 9th, 2022. I have all the facts.
Hey,
Okay. So I was getting ready for bed. It was a Saturday. I thought it was a lot later than it was. Like I thought it was like 1:30 in the morning. And I was like going up the stairs and turned off all the lights. And I found out later it was 11:30, but still like late enough.
sure.
Like no one should be there or whatever. And so I'm at the top of the stairs. I just turned all my lights off. And then Sylvie, my cat, came running up the stairs with her tail like super puffy, like the most puffy I've ever seen her. So something was going on, and I was like, "Oh, what's happening?" And then the doorbell rang, and I was like, I don't like that."
Fuck that.
So I yeah, but I kinda thought, that's like some kid, like ding dong ditch,
Yeah.
like just one person. I mean, just ring the doorbell, like, fine. So then I went to, like, my room, and then the doorbell rang again, like, probably 3 minutes later or something. So I was like, "This person's not leaving then."
Mm,
So I went to my spare bedroom where I can like kind of see the front porch from the window. And I didn't see anyone there, but it was also like pitch black because I never left the like porch light on. So I couldn't see anything. And then I kind of decided to go downstairs to see if I could kind of peek
you ding
between like
dong.
the curtain at the front. Well, I wasn't gonna unlock the door,
Well, I know.
but
I'm
I just
just
wanted to like, I was just kind of like crouching under the curtain at the front door to see if I could see someone still there.
okay, yeah.
And then, like, right when I'm, like, looking like that, then my outdoor water faucet was turned on. So, like, they're trying to get me to come outside. So, then when that happened, I think adrenaline flooded because I was just, like, felt, ice all
Well,
over.
yeah,
So
cuz
I
you
was like, "Oh
you
my god."
you knew exactly what they were trying to do at that point, for sure.
Well, yeah. So I called 911 at that point because I was like, fuck that. I'm not going outside. I don't care. And also, like, all of my downstairs windows at that point, because I have a lot of windows, like, everywhere, but I always left the blinds half up so my cat could, like, look out without getting in all the blinds because
Right.
otherwise she'd get, like, stuck and stuff. So I'm kind of just standing in, like, the entry hallway because I'm like, I don't want to move because then all those windows you could, like, maybe see where I am in the
For sure.
house.
Yeah.
So I'm just standing there, and I was, like, so freaked out that I thought it was gases at first because of the sound. I was just like, "I don't know, it's gas or water or I don't" like, I forgot there was a faucet out there. I was just like, "I don't know what it is, but you guys gotta get here."
Well,
So
I am proud of you because you didn't do the typical horror movie trope of like, "Oh, let's go investigate." You were like, "Nah, fuck
yeah,
that. I'm not going out
right,
there."
right, yeah, fuck that. Well, obviously, it's to get me to go outside,
Right.
so I was
Yeah.
like, "I'm not doing that." Yeah, so, the police showed up, and I told them what happened. They looked around, they didn't find anything, and the weird thing too is, like, right next to the water faucet is, like, a access doorway kind of to, like, the rest of the water to, like, the townhouses.
Mhm.
So it's usually locked, but then they were like, "Yeah, the doorknob feels like it's locked, but you can just pull it open." And I was like, "I don't remember it being like that before either." So that was weird. But, they were just like, "Lock your doors and leave your light on," and it was probably kids, is what they said. And I was like, "I don't think so, though." Like, kind of right away, because like, why are they gonna do that, all that?
Well, if it was just kids playing a prank, it would have been the one doorbell ring.
Yeah,
You know,
right,
like these kids are trying to, look cool in front of their friends and then they're going to run off and laugh about it because they got somebody out of bed. Like you're not going to stand there and ding dong ditch and then wait 3 minutes and ring the doorbell
right.
again, you know?
And then turn on the water.
Right.
Yeah. But that was kind of that night. I did end up installing a Ring, like, doorbell camera to replace my regular doorbell. I got a lot of upgrades through this experience. So
Well,
so
usually when crazy shit happens, we have to respond with equally crazy shit. Not crazy, but equal, you know,
right.
escalation of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so the next weekend, I ended up going to New York City for vacation, so I wasn't there that weekend. So I had left, like, the 13th and came back the 17th, so I think that was, like, Wednesday or something. And, like, I had my friend Pete check on the cat in the house while I was gone. So he checked on the 15th and he didn't see anything, like, weird or anything. And then I got back so late Sunday that I just went to bed. Like, I didn't look around or anything. So that Monday, usually I get ready and then I open the curtain to the patio for Sylvie to be able to like look outside from her cat tree during the day.
Hmm.
When I opened it, I saw the screen door was like half open. So like someone had tried
Shit.
to get in or something. Yeah. So I didn't really want to deal with that because I was like I don't know what day it happened and I was gone and they weren't able to get in. So I didn't call the cops for that,
Okay.
but I
Well,
wish I did.
yeah. Hindsight's a motherfucker.
Well, yeah, to like document that it happened,
Hmm.
but I just didn't do that because I was like, well, I'm just gonna go to work and pretend that didn't happen, kind of.
If I don't remember, if I just forget about it, it never happened.
Yeah. And then like the next day, like Pete brought over a big like wooden block thing because I had like a rod for the glass door, but then I put like a solid block of wood down. So then that's not going to open at all. And then my other friend Ruben brought over his like indoor camera to set up so it would face like that patio door in case like it someone tried to come in again. Then it would catch whoever if they did come in, I guess. So we did that. And then I also got a Ring alarm system. I think I got it maybe after that. I got it at some point.
It was
But
pretty early on in the experiences though that you had that.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Because it also comes with like the sensors for
Yeah.
the windows if the
Windows
windows
and
open.
doors and yeah.
Yeah. So I got that pretty quick. So the next weekend, Sunday, April 24th. So I woke up where it said my phone could not connect to Wi Fi. So I checked the router and I restarted the router and everything, and it didn't work. And I went outside because outside's like from the cable box to where it comes into the house, it's like just a cable on the ground, kind of.
Hmm.
So when I looked, that cable had been cut in two different places. And I think it's because I said I had Ring stuff because we put like the Ring, like protected by Ring or whatever. Because if it was kids, then they wouldn't care or that could deter them or whatever. So I think this person cut my internet so the cameras wouldn't work.
So listeners, this is the moment that I found out about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, this is what I told everyone.
This is when I was like hearing this for the first time and like well and the way it got told to me, I'm not trying to like derail your story or anything,
No,
but
you're good.
the way it got told to me was like at first it's like, yeah, somebody was around messing with wires and messing up Sarah's stuff. And then I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. Like, why would somebody do that? And then I talked to dad and he was all like, no, somebody's after her. Somebody's cutting up her wires and making sure her security system doesn't work. I'm like, oh, shit, like this is like real deal. And then that's when he's like, if we need to go to Chicago, you're coming up here. I'm like, yeah, I got you. Let's go, dude.
After the third thing. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't know if I had told our parents about the first two. Like the second one, I kind of tried to ignore because
Yeah.
I wasn't there. The first one, like, okay, it's they ring the doorbell. I mean, they tried to get me to come outside, but yeah, once the internet was cut, I was like, okay, I need to tell everyone. I literally told like everyone at work. I told, and like at my parent or our parents, and then you found out. I think all of Springfield knew too, like all of our
Yeah.
family over there. Like that's when I was just like, all right, let's see what's going on with this. Do you want to see the pictures? Took
Well,
the
you have
pictures.
pictures? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Let's see these motherfuckers.
yeah,
Yes.
I have everything. Let's see, entire screen share. Yeah, that's
Fuck.
where it was cut there, and then it was on the ground in the middle too, and it was cut. So 2 places, just to be sure, I guess.
Well,
I don't
one
know.
one wants to be safe, you know, there are 2 wires coming out of that, so, you know.
Yeah, maybe they weren't sure that was the internet, so
Yeah.
then they cut it again. I don't know. It Yeah, so I had to call AT&T to come repair it, and they couldn't come out till the next day, so I ended up having to, like, work from home the next day for them to be able to come out, and, like, obviously I called 911, or not 911, but I called for a police officer to come out
Mhm.
to document it as well. So that's kinda when they were starting to ask me, like, do I have any ex-boyfriends or, like, anyone that knows I live here that could whatever. So I started trying to come up with, like, a suspect list,
Yeah.
and, yeah, they didn't find any footprints, though, or anything for that because it was a little muddy,
Yeah.
but I kinda walked around it too till I saw that it was cut, and then I backed away slowly, but, um yeah, and then we also looked at that little cubby by the faucet then, because I had told the officer, like, "Yeah, this other stuff has been happening too for the weekends and stuff." So then we looked at it closer, and it looked like it had been jimmied open.
Like,
So I think
yeah.
this yeah. I mean, when we opened it, though, it was just like a little access, but
Yeah,
it's
I
not like
mean,
you could come into my house.
no, I mean, it's probably just like you said, a little box that's what, a foot by a foot maybe?
Yeah, with, like, all the water valves or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, I think whoever was trying to do that too. So the police officer took photos of that, and I didn't take a photo of that, but and I'm not sure when that happened either. So that's still a mystery. But then the police also added a trail cam to a tree that kind of looked at the like back corner of my house.
Mhm.
So like they were already putting resources, I guess, to figure out what's going on. Like they were taking it more seriously. So
Well, I'd
that was
fucking
good.
hope so, especially after they
Oh
cut the
yeah.
internet, because they knew
Right.
you
I
had
mean
Ring
things
and other security
right.
systems on the Wi-Fi or internet that you're using. Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, it seemed to be escalating,
Mhm.
so it was like, "Okay." So, yeah, like we said, I pretty much told everyone after that, and, I had to pay $99 for the freaking new whatever repair, which they
Right.
said once they found out who it was, then they would charge that person with it, but that's not what happened because they couldn't prove it was him, I guess,
Right.
but yeah, so the AT&T guy was able to, like, drill right into my house from the box, so then I no longer had a cable, like, outside at all. So that was good. So that was another upgrade.
Yeah. You're just winning over here.
Yeah, I think at some point too, I think it was after this, I changed all of my outdoor light bulbs to be motion light bulbs.
Mm.
So, because I kept, like, leaving them on and forgetting to turn them off, like, during the
Right.
day and stuff.
Right.
So, like, my porch light and then the garage light and the back patio light were now, like, motion light bulbs. I mean, they still are, but so that was another upgrade, and when I put in for the garage fixture, there was not a light bulb there, so that had been stolen as well at some point. So it's like, "Alright, whatever." I think the motion was, like, good and bad though, because like, they would come in, like, on, and I could see the back patio from my room, so it'd wake me up because 'cause I'm a very light sleeper. So I was not sleeping very much during this
Well,
time.
as one would
I mean,
expect.
anyway,
Right.
right. Yeah, but the lights definitely came in handy later, and we'll get to that, but okay, so the next weekend, I'm on edge the whole weekend because like, something's happening every single weekend. So I'm like, "When will it happen?" Every night, I'm like, "What's gonna happen?" And nothing happened, like, Saturday or Sunday. So then I'm kinda like, "Okay, this person has moved on. They lost interest, whatever." And then Monday, on May 2nd, I wake up and I go down the stairs after I'm ready for work, and when I go down the stairs, I can see out the window where the faucet is, and there's water everywhere. So I go outside, and my hose had been cut in 2 places, and the water had been turned on, like, just enough so it didn't make noise, but it would leak everywhere. So it had been
Mm.
on,
All
like, who
night.
knows how long.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have a picture of that, my hose, not the water, but turned off the water. But that pissed me off because then I thought I was like done.
I
But
see.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like cut there and like below too. That's hard to
Mhm.
see, but and it's like, why is it keep being in two places?
Well, I mean, creatures of
But
habit, you know what I mean?
yeah. So I mean that one, I mean that one, I'm like I cried a lot. I thought it was done, and I was just so frustrated. Before I could call the cops, I just like kind of sat there for a little
I
bit.
get it, dude. You ain't gotta justify that to me.
Yeah,
You got through the whole
but
weekend thinking
so
you were solid.
right, yeah. So then the police came, they checked the trail cam from the tree, but I guess the trail cam didn't see the side of the house.
Mm,
It saw the back patio. And I was so pissed that they didn't catch whoever did this for that. But so then they added another trail cam. So then they had both directions. And then I also added like an outdoor camera that pointed like directly at the hose and the water faucet because now that had been twice.
twice that they had, yeah.
So I added my own camera there too. Yeah. Yeah, so then we talked about suspects again, like who knew I lived there even because I'm like I'm from Indianapolis, like I
Right.
don't not a lot of people. But then I remembered my ex-boyfriend that I had dated for literally 1 month in 2020, so 2 years before. He lived in the same neighborhood.
That you were living in now. Yeah.
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 So it was like, well, there's him, but like it's been literally 2 years and we dated for 1 month. So how crazy can he be?
Very.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so he became suspect number one for sure, prime suspect. And then I did have two other people in mind from volleyball because one of them had asked me out and I rejected him and he hadn't taken that very well at
Mm,
first. And he had a friend that's kind of like he was into drugs a lot at that time. It was kind of like a loose cannon, like a lot of anger issues and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe it could be both of them, which is why maybe there's two cuts on everything because they each gotta do their own or
Let
something.
me in there and get mine.
Yeah, but they didn't know where I lived. Like one of them lived in the neighborhood across from mine, so they could have seen me maybe and
Mm,
followed me home. But like they didn't know for sure
right. Right.
as far as I knew, or they maybe followed me home from volleyball, but that would also be crazy. But yeah. So yeah, I couldn't remember the ex-boyfriend's name when the cops had asked me because I pulled up my phone and I had just changed his contact to a clown emoji. So
Savage.
the cop, yeah,
Savage.
the cop was definitely like, "Yeah, I think this is our guy," but
What's his name?
I'm not gonna say his name.
No, I meant that's what he was saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I ended up having to ask my friend who had introduced us because they had worked together, but I ended up having to ask him, like, "Hey, what was that guy's name again?" And I never explained like what it was for.
Well, of course
So
not.
if you're listening to this, if you ever hear this, it was for this. But yeah, and also, I didn't always date the best people, but he was 41 and I was 28.
Yeah, well, we live and
So
learn,
there's a
Sarah.
reason we only
Yeah.
dated for a month. But yeah, he was I mean, he had lived in the neighborhood. That's why my friend had introduced me to him as like a friend. He said he never meant as dating,
Mm,
but whatever. So then that week, my friend Ruben spent the night Monday to Wednesday. Because at that point, I'm like, anything could happen any day. And I didn't want to live alone
right.
at that point. So then he had to go to a work trip after that. So I wasn't sure if I was going to ask Pete to stay or not. But I ended up asking him to stay. But yeah, Ruben, actually, he slept downstairs on the couch so he could like kind of see outside
Right.
and see if anything happened. So there was like, I think it was Tuesday night. He thought he saw something outside like at like 10 p.m. and he like ran outside to try and like catch this person. But nothing happened. Then like he couldn't find anyone. But and like people do just walk because it's like a community
Yeah.
area, all the
Yeah.
grass. So there are just people walking and stuff all the time. But that Wednesday, the 4th, I had to go to indoor volleyball. So I left around 6:30. And when I left, I saw like a black car. So it's like I'm in a court and then
Mm,
across the street is like a parking lot for a school. So the parking lot was empty except for there was just a car sitting there at the stop sign, like wanting to turn left or something, but it was just sitting there. And like no one was there. So it's like you could have gone at any point.
Right.
And then when I like pulled up across from them where my lights were shining into their car, they put their phone up in front of their face so I couldn't see their face. Or they're recording, I don't know. I was thinking like, this seems like my ex, because the car looked what I remembered too. It was like a black two-door
Mhm.
car. So I was like, I don't like that. So, but I left. I went to volleyball, get some anger out, I guess. And then when I came back, well, no, I asked my friend Ruben to check on the car because he didn't go to volleyball because he had to go out of town the next day. So I said, check later if that car is still sitting there.
Right.
So he checked like 30 minutes later at 7 and he saw that car pull up into like a neighbor's house a few houses down.
From
So I was
yeah.
kind of thinking maybe it's someone that lives there. I don't know. I usually look at people's cars and know almost every car, but it was
Well,
like maybe they've lived there.
especially when you live in a community or a neighborhood for a decent amount of time, like your immediate neighbors
Yeah,
to your, 2 houses down either way or beside you, like, yeah, you're gonna
right.
start to recognize what cars who belongs to who.
Yeah. So that was kind of weird. But then I ended up coming home around 10:30 because we usually go out to dinner after
Mhm.
volleyball and stuff. And when I came home, again, I'm like in a right turn lane and there's a black two-door car sitting at like the entrance to the whole neighborhood to like turn onto the main street. And it's just sitting there and it had the left turn signal on, but again, no one was there. I was turning right. It could go at any time and it just sat there. And when I like kind of pulled and turned and my lights went into the car, it was like a guy with a gray hoodie, like, pulled up and, like, covering half of his face, and he looked very, like, gaunt, like, very skeletal.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe that's not my ex because he was not like that when we were dating, but I wasn't sure, but yeah, that was, like, creepy, and then when after I turned, I looked at my rearview mirror, and that car turned, like, onto the main road, but then it turned right into the school parking lot and went back to our neighborhood. I was like, "I'm pretty sure that's him, that's fucking
Right.
creepy." So I think he was waiting to see when I would come back.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. I mean, like, literally staking you out for sure. That is
Yeah,
100%.
right. Yeah, so then the next day, Thursday, May 5th, I mean, I didn't call the cops or anything, I didn't tell them that, I guess, but I told them later. But so, like I said, I was debating on asking my friend Pete to stay with me
Mhm.
because I was kinda like, "I should be able to handle it, I'm a" whatever.
I'm a strong,
Like
independent woman. I don't need
a
no
little
man.
bit, yeah. But then I did ask him to stay because I was like, "No, it's not safe,
No,
really."
yeah.
Like
Well,
anything
man or woman, if you have somebody
yeah,
that is no shit escalating
right.
weekly, like weird shit happening, and then you start seeing people trailing you, I don't care if you're a
Yeah,
man or a woman. If you're by yourself, you have a higher likelihood of shit going really bad.
right. So, yeah, my friend Pete did end up coming over and spending the night, so that was good. So, I mean, we did some kinda, like, house stuff because I always have improvement stuff to do, so we did that, and then we went to dinner, like, at 7:45, so kinda late for
Mhm.
dinner for, like, a weekday. But we got back around 9:30, and, like, all dinner, we were talking about what's going on and the car that I saw and stuff. We decided to drive to, like, the back of the neighborhood where I remembered that he lived to see if the car was there, if it matched and stuff, just to make sure. So then when we came in, we went past, like, my court entrance to the back, and there was a guy that was standing at the corner to the entrance of my court, just standing on the sidewalk, and I locked eyes with him, and I was like, "That's my ex." I was like, "That's him." Immediately, I was like, "Pete, we have to turn around, like, that's him." But he lives in the neighborhood, so I was kinda like, "He's just on the sidewalk, like, he's allowed
Nah,
to
man.
be, like, on the sidewalk." Like,
You're
I was
better
like,
than
"What are we
me.
gonna do?" Well, I was trying to be like, "'Cause I don't know for sure if it's him."
That's fair. That's fair.
Like and he does live there, and it's a sidewalk, like it's public property, like I
Sure.
don't know. But we did circle around like within a minute or something because we kind of looked at the house that I thought I remembered him being in, and we kind of saw a car that could have matched or something. But I was like, just get around, like go around and back. So like in a minute we were back, and that guy was gone. So I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, because he fucking saw you and he saw you saw
Right,
him
yeah.
and took
We
the fuck
locked
off.
eyes. Yeah. I was like, "What the fuck?" I mean, because if he was still standing there, like, okay, it's his
Yeah.
neighborhood too, but since he was gone, like, no trace of him,
Yeah, like,
I
if it
was like
like yeah, maybe another awkward, like, "Oh, shit, that's my ex, hey," like, that sort of thing,
right.
no big deal, but the fact that the dude was gone in less than 60 seconds and was like, "Fuck, I gotta get out of here," yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
right. And then we pulled up to my garage and the motion light bulb did not come on. So then we like, got out of the car, looked at it, and the bulb was still in it. It wasn't stolen, but it had been turned just enough so it wouldn't get triggered.
This is the second time that I talked to dad,
Yeah.
and he told me that we're going up here.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that because he's like, "Yeah, it's happening where she's, or they're whoever it is like not stealing anything, but they're disabling any sort of like light systems or anything like this just by unscrewing the light bulbs just enough." And I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, time to go do some work
Right.
up in borough of Chicago. But
Yeah. Well, so we went to the back patio and same thing there with the light bulb.
mhm.
It was unscrewed just enough. So then when we walked back to the front, we see the same guy walking around the court area, kind of looking at like who's with me. And he's just kind of walking between cars and stuff. Like, it's like, what are
Yeah,
you doing?
yeah,
Like,
looking
but
shady
I
as
was
fuck.
surprised he was, yeah, because I was surprised he didn't just go home. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, but that's pretty typical with people that are in that state of mind. They'll like when they're stalking or they're doing like you've always heard it about like arsonists that will like watch the fire department put out like it's like a psychological thing of like I'm gonna
Right.
stick around and see what how far I can push this sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he thinks I'm an idiot.
Right.
He's the idiot. Yeah, so, I mean, at that point, though, like, I kinda knew that's my ex, and I was pissed. I was like, "I'm gonna fucking go
Yeah.
over there," and,
Right.
like but, like, with Pete there, we were kinda like, "Let's just go inside. We're gonna call the cops. Like, let's go from there." So we called the cops at, like, 9:30, and then they came probably, like, 10 minutes later because it
Okay.
wasn't, like, a big emergency.
Right.
And, like, I was telling them, like, who I saw and what happened and with the light bulbs and stuff, and then they were like, "Okay, well, we've detained that person that you said was suspicious." Like, he was still fucking walking around.
My God.
So they got him, and they were questioning him as well, but then they needed evidence, to bring him in, like
Right.
so, they got the trail cams and they brought in the SD cards to my house and they're like, "Do you have any way to read this?" And I was like, "Let me go get my laptop
Right.
because I'm gonna see what's on here."
Wait 1 second, literally less. I'll be back.
Right, yeah. Yeah. But then like my laptop had like the card slot, you could put it in the side, but then it had
Hmm.
that plastic bit. And I was like, "Do I just remove this?" Because I had never used it before. Like it had the
Oh,
cover
oh
thing
yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
And then they were almost like, "Oh, let's just take it to the station to look." And I was like, "No." I got out a butter knife
Yep. We're
and
get
I pried it out.
we're working this fucking shit out right now.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm gonna see what's on this because 'cause they're never gonna let me see it. Otherwise,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if they should have let me see it to begin with, but yeah, so then they started going through the trail cams and they found images of what looked like him because he was wearing the exact same clothing
Of course he
as the
was.
picture.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was from the 2nd, so, like, Monday or something, and it was, like, him looking into my window from the back, like, the far back window, and just crouching and looking in, and, like, they had, like, 45 images in, like, 15 minutes. I mean, I had triggers every
Well,
whatever.
sure, but
Yeah. Do you want to see those pictures?
You have those? Yes. Yes, I want to see those fucking pictures. I want to see this piece of
Yeah,
shit.
so I did a FOIA request for a commercial to make sure. They gave me more for personal, but I'm sharing what was given to me commercially. So there's one picture of him just fucking literally touching my siding, that he's
What
touching
the
my house.
fuck, man?
Yeah. And then there was this one too with a flashlight, like
What
peering
the
in.
fuck?
Yeah. So, I mean, those were the two best ones, but
Yeah, but still, that's fucking creepy as shit, man.
yeah.
God damn it.
Like, what the fuck?
And he was wearing the same fucking clothes.
Yep, the same like black jacket, and it has a gray hoodie, so I think he was the driver because it had the
Right.
gray hoodie up. Yeah, like black leather jacket.
What a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, so they arrested him,
Oh,
obviously. They took
yeah,
him in. I did get the police report, like kind of the summary of what they asked him and stuff.
sure.
But yeah, so it said like at 10:40 p.m. they started talking to him.
Hmm.
So I guess they had him probably an hour just to let him sit there. But they did read him his Miranda rights and they started talking to him. And he had like said he had seen me only like once since we had stopped dating in a local breakfast place, which I'm like, I don't remember that. So that was weird.
But it's also been 2 fucking years.
Yeah, he said like the only time he's seen me since we dated was a year before at that breakfast place. And I'm like, I didn't see you there, but
Yeah, weirdo. So when did this start? A
yeah,
year ago?
yeah, that's
You
what I'm
know?
wondering.
Fuck.
Yeah, maybe I wasn't paying attention, so he had to escalate or something, so he
Yeah.
would get my attention or something. I don't know. And he told the police he likes to walk between the townhouses at night, and he looks into windows of various residents, not just mine, is what he
That
said.
is called a peeping Tom, and that's definitely
Yeah,
fucking illegal.
right.
So,
Yeah. But he was trying to make it sound like it's not just Sarah, I just do it to everyone. Make it
okay,
better? I don't know.
yeah, that doesn't make anything better. That makes things so much worse.
Yeah. Yeah, and he had said he recently became curious whether I was still living there because I always had my Jeep in the garage. So you never could know if I was
Right.
actually there or not. So he said in the last couple weeks he started because he was curious if I lived there and he said he had confirmed I still lived there but then kept watching for the last couple weeks. So it's kind of like you admit that you're this person that did all these things basically. And he admitted to unscrewing my light bulb and looking in the windows. So there's like two offenses already because that was on different days. And he kind of indicated he had done other stuff other days, but he never actually said.
Okay. Yeah.
But he, I guess, denied that he rang my doorbell and he denied that he cut my internet or my hose. But it's like, obviously, you were the person who did this.
Yeah, just another random peeping Tom that walks between townhomes and looks in everybody's stuff, you know.
Right. Yeah, and I guess he gave consent for them to look at his phone, so they took his phone and looked through everything, and they said they didn't find anything on there. Like, I don't know what I would have done if he had pictures or something,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then they printed off one of the trail cam photos and said like, "Is that you?" And he said yes, but then they asked him to sign it as like, "Yes, that is you." And then that's when he asked for a lawyer. So it's like, okay, you should have asked for a lawyer right away because that was around 1:30 a.m. So they had talked to him
Holy
for 3 hours.
shit.
Yeah,
Good lord. And you already admitted to like two and a half things.
right.
Like,
Yeah. But then he was like, I think I need a lawyer.
yeah, you
I don't know.
fucking think?
Yeah, and the personal one that I got like the video of the whole interview, but it's
That's fine. Yeah, yeah.
fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's too long. I mean, nothing really was. But yeah, so they stopped questioning him then and they let him call his mom. And then they kept him overnight because they said they're at least charging him with peeping, which is a misdemeanor. And they really wanted to go for a stalking charge, which in Illinois is a felony.
Hmm.
So he could have gone to jail for 5 years or something, but it required like three separate instances, though. And they only had two for sure.
Yeah.
So they started connecting like the investigation to find a third thing, but they didn't end up doing that. But yeah, I also talked to my neighbor that's kind of like diagonal from me because they have a motion light bulb that faces my direction, and they had said theirs also was unscrewed. So he was doing it for all of them. And they were just kind of like, oh, that's weird because they didn't know what was happening.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like he was going to do something that night or like soon.
100%.
Yeah. And after he was arrested, nothing ever happened again to my house. Obviously, I mean, I would say that was him for all of that stuff. But then it started all this court stuff, which I might not be as interesting to people, but I think it's interesting. And like people don't think of all the stuff that you have to do once something like this is over.
Mhm.
Because it's kind of like just the beginning again to
Yeah.
like figure this out. But yeah, so he was arrested Thursday. I stayed up till like 3 a.m. thinking about it. I should have talked to Pete because Pete said he couldn't sleep either because we were just thinking of everything that happened. So we should have talked, but we were trying to just pretend to sleep, I guess, instead.
Right.
But then I ended up going to our parents' house that Friday. Like I was taking that day off to go because it was like Mother's Day weekend.
Mhm.
And it was good to like get away, I think, for a while.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but then Friday I decided I wanted to put up like all the outdoor cameras, like more that face like every single window basically.
Yeah, every nook and
Cause
cranny.
after, yeah, because after they arrested him, they took away the trail cams too. Cause they're like, well, we needed them for something else. So yeah, we put up like 3 more cameras so it could see everything, and then I decided to pack, like, my suitcases with, like, literally everything that was important to me. Because I was like, if he's released over the weekend, like, he could come back and try to and he doesn't know I'm not there, like, he could try to do something or I don't know.
Right.
I was just thinking, like, what's the worst thing? So I took everything, and of course I took Sylvie, and we left. So, and I was just at our parents' house, like looking at my cameras everywhere to see, like, is he there? But he didn't show up, so that was good. But yeah, they told me that Friday that he had posted bond, so he's out of jail. And I looked at like the court record, and I guess his bail amount was $35,000,
Holy
but
shit.
he just had to pay 10%, I guess, to
Yeah,
get out.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so his mom ended up bailing him out. I had never met her, but
I'm sure she was a winner.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it was nice to be at our parents' house, but I feel like I was still paranoid somehow. Like maybe
Well,
he followed or I don't know.
no,
It just it gets in your mind.
it's a completely valid feeling, especially when you pretty much had like the opposite of like I guess it would be kind of similar to like when you get like that adrenaline dump and you like come down from the high. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
almost feel like you've been ran over by a car, you know? Like
right.
that sort of thing, but just mentally at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, and when I got back from the weekend, all of my tulips had been gone because they were all buds when I left, and then they were all gone. So I thought he had come over and cut them all, but I didn't see any on my camera. But I also looked up like there's ways to circumnavigate the so the ring doesn't catch you and stuff. And
Mhm. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I told the detective, but then he was like, it was probably bunnies, and I'm like, okay. I've had tulips every year, and that was the only year that they were all eaten, but
Right.
I was like,
All of
"Alright."
them.
Yeah, every single one, but there weren't any, like, buds on the ground, so it's like, okay, maybe something did eat it, I don't know.
Mhm.
But I just thought that was I mean, I was paranoid about it, I guess. I was just thinking everything, but and then I also saw on my Ring camera that the window that he was looking in was missing its screen.
Mm,
So I thought he stole that. And then, like, they kind of looked through the trail cams and stuff, and that screen had been gone for a while. So it's
okay.
like, but it's still like, I know when I moved in, it was there because my friend power washed my whole house
Mhm.
and it was there because it kind of got caught, like the water got caught between and made it kind of foggy. That was the
Right.
foggiest window, and he's trying to look through that one.
Well, we've
But
already
I think,
established he's a kind of a fucking idiot.
yeah. But yeah, I feel like he stole that at some point before all this started
I
because it's
mean,
like, or some I don't know.
Well, it's weird that he said that the last time he saw you was a year ago, because that makes me think
Right.
that it started
Yeah.
a year
That's what I'm
ago
kinda thinking, yeah.
or a
Because
year
also
prior.
right. Because also when we had dated, my friend Sydney lived with me,
Mhm.
and then she ended up moving out, like, probably around a year later, and he wasn't sure if she lived there or not. Like, that's probably when he noticed I was living alone
Right.
and all that stuff, so yeah. And I found out, like, all of the screens had been, like you could take it out from the outside, I think, because of
Mhm.
the previous owner, that's easier, so I flipped them all around the other way, so now
Okay, yeah.
no other ones. And then I have, like, the one at the stairs that's higher up, so I just moved that screen to the bottom one that was missing. So I still don't have a screen on that one, but those are hard to, like, remake or something.
Yeah, well, they're a pain in the ass to take in and take out without fucking them up.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then I also got curtains for every single window downstairs, so now the window's completely covered, but Sylvie can still, like, jump into the windowsills. So that was another upgrade. But yeah, they told me to get an order of protection, so that's a restraining order. So then I had to go Monday to the courthouse and like fill in the paperwork, and then you have to like wait for the judge even after. So it
Yeah.
was like half a day.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
so
Pretty crazy on just a simple piece of paper, for sure.
right. Yeah. And then they immediately gave me like an emergency one that's like 30 days because we had a prior relationship. Like they pretty much just approve it right away
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
have something. So it's like why do I have to wait so long? But yeah, then like I had to come back like in 30 days to get the 2 year, and he could come to contest it if he wanted to. So then it was like, okay, I don't want to look at him, but yeah, so the police ended up serving him with that on May 11th because it doesn't go into effect until you're served or he's served or whatever. So then June 1st was the court date and that was a Wednesday. So I had to go during work. I mean, good thing my work's very flexible, and they
Right.
were kinda like, "Do what you gotta do to get this
Considering the
fucker," like
circumstances, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and my friends Pete and Ruben went with me, and, I didn't think he would show up. Ruben definitely didn't think he'd show up. He thought he'd just let it go or whatever. I wasn't too sure, but I was kinda surprised he did show up, and he had a lawyer with him. So I was like, "This is crazy." But the lawyer, like, literally right before we were supposed to go into the courthouse, he called me and left a message saying he was a lawyer and well, I didn't mean to say his name, but
I can get rid of that.
okay. Saying he's his lawyer and he, is wants to make a deal or something. Like, I didn't really listen to the message because I didn't pick up 'cause it's a random number.
Yeah. Well, and
But
even
yeah,
if you
so
did pick up, are you really going to
well,
No,
yeah,
fuck no, I'm not making a fucking deal.
right. Yeah, so I mean, he just showed up with a lawyer and he did look like so like gaunt, like totally different,
Oh,
like a skeleton
really?
almost. So like that's definitely the person who was driving that car too in my mind. But yeah, so the lawyer like told the judge that he wanted to talk to me like one on one to try and make a deal before we bring it up to the court and everything. So we went into a separate room and he's like kind of just wrote with his crappy handwriting, like a deal thing. So he was calling it a mutual order or something. But I was like,
Mm.
why is it mutual? Like, fuck you. Like,
Yeah. Nothing about this is
but
fucking mutual.
yeah, I didn't pick this, but it did kind of entail kind of what would be in it anyway. Like, he has to stay 500 feet away from me and my property and like my car where I work. And like, if he breached the order, then he'd have to reimburse me any money to get a lawyer to fight it.
Mm.
And that was kind of the deal, and he was kinda saying like, "Oh, but he's gonna lose his job if we do this." And I'm like, "Fuck him. I don't care."
Yeah, that
Like
sucks for him. That sounds like a problem he should have fucking fixed before he started all this.
right, yeah. And if we made this deal, it wouldn't go on his record because
Yeah, fuck
before
that.
this, there was nothing on his record, yeah. And I was like, "There's no way this is the first time he's doing this because he's 41."
Absolutely not the first time.
Yeah, and I really want it on his record
Yeah.
above everything else. So, yeah, I told him, "No, fuck you. I'm getting my own lawyer." So then they extended it another 30 days so I could have time to get a lawyer. Just things always were like 30 more days later. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just kind of how the court works. Yeah. So, like, luckily my work has an employee assistance program. So it gave me like
Cool.
25% off for a lawyer.
Yeah.
So I found like a list of lawyers in the area who were part of that program, and they would give me a free consultation too. So I kind of matched, like, for what my thing, there was only like three choices really.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's not as like broad and general as you would think. It's very specific for cases and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. So the first lady I was matched with, she pissed me off. I was on a work trip in Georgia and like I had to go to a private room to talk to her, and she was just kind of like, "Oh, if you go after this, then he's gonna retaliate, and I'm really worried about your safety and everything." And I'm like, "Fuck this. Like I want this
Yeah.
to be on his record." And
Yeah.
he definitely did it. Like, and she was telling me not to do it, like, not to pursue it and stuff, because 'cause it'd make him angry, and then he'd retaliate, and I'm
My
like, "Dude, I
God.
don't care." Yeah, so she really did not wanna take my case, I guess, and I was just like, "Oh my god," because like, by the time I talked to her, I only had, like, a week before the next date or something because of how long it took. So, yeah, then I found a different guy nearby, and I told him everything and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, this is a slam dunk, like, there's no reason he should
Yeah.
even be paying for a lawyer,"
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah, and I guess he also knew, like, because there's a criminal case also against him because the police are going after him, so my lawyer knew, like, the prosecutor or whatever for
Mm,
that case too and
yeah.
stuff. So, yeah, I hired him, so his retainer was $2,000 for him to get started, which I guess mom and dad did end up paying. I told them they didn't need to, but dad just said something about, "I don't care how much it costs, you get this fucker," or something
Yeah.
like, you know?
Yeah.
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 Give him hell. So I was like, "Alright." So I thought after that it would be quick because he said it's pretty straightforward.
Well, unfortunately, I think we've known from enough of these episodes we've done that the legal system usually is not very quick.
No. Well, of all things considered, it was pretty fast. But yeah, the July court date, which these could now be on Zoom, so that
Hmm.
was better at least. I
Right.
didn't have to go. But yeah, my lawyer basically just asked the police like for all the evidence and stuff for him to go over. So he said, I just got this case a week ago and then like I need more time. So it went to August, and then August, I don't really get what was going on. They were kind of just like sticking around, I guess, or something.
Right.
'Cause, like, they were still, like, the other lawyer thought I was gonna take the deal still or something, and I was like, "Why would I have a lawyer and everything?" Like, "What?"
Why would I pay this retainer just to be like, you know what, that deal that you told us, what, 3 months ago now sounds like a really great
Right.
idea.
Yeah. Yeah, so September ended up actually going to be they were gonna pick a trial date to go to trial with
Hmm.
the evidence and stuff, like, it was gonna be all ready to go, and I'd have to be a witness on the stand, so I was, like, nervous about that. I was like, I don't know if I wanna be up there," but then that date for September, he ended up agreeing to, like, drop it and let the order go into effect, so it was just a waste of time. I mean, he had to pay more. He had to do all that stuff.
100%.
Yeah, so I got my 2-year order of protection in September. So that was good because I guess his lawyer, he had the same lawyer for both cases, and he told him, basically, you're not going to win this.
Right.
And whatever came out for evidence for like that case, the civil case could be used in the other trial. So yeah, he decided to drop it. So that was good. And like my retainer, like just covered that time. So it was good. I think I got like $200 back or something. So I was like, wow, that's great that it's over. So yeah, my part was kind of done by then. And I guess also by then I knew that he had bought a house in the neighborhood across the street from his house that he was renting. So I didn't even look at the right house when I was trying to find the car anyway.
Well, I mean, how would you have known that?
Well, yeah, right. I wouldn't because I'm not stalking him for
Right.
but I guess he had bought that in 2021. So I was
Mm,
like, that's whatever. But yeah, then after all this, he had to sell it and move. Because mom, too, was trying to tell me to move and stuff. Like, maybe it'd be better. And I'm like, I'm not moving. He should fucking move.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
but he did end up having to move, and he moved into his mom's house in like a
Good.
town 45 minutes away. So that was good that I was never going to see him again. I mean, I never saw him anyway. It was like we lived two totally different lives that we never ran into each other. Well,
Right.
I didn't. Not that I noticed.
Well, he ran into you a lot.
Yeah, he noticed. Yeah, so then the head detective, like in September, also told me like they couldn't find any more evidence for a third instance, so they couldn't
Mm,
do a felony. Because they like checked like the geofencing for all the things that had happened to see if his phone was on the property and stuff, and like either he didn't have his phone or wasn't on or whatever, but they
right.
couldn't tie him to those things, yeah. So I was pretty disappointed with that, but well, and like the patio door thing, like he didn't, because I wrote that in my statement, but he didn't check that date or those dates, I guess.
Yeah.
But it probably wouldn't have been anything because I didn't know what date either or time specifically for that. So I don't think that would have changed much. But also my witness statement, because I had said 1:30 a.m. for the first thing that had happened, and it ended up being 11:30 based on the 911 call, and I think he went with my witness statement for that.
Oh,
So I was like, that's off too. I don't know. Maybe he would have been caught the first thing because he didn't think about it. I don't know.
right.
But but whatever. He still got the misdemeanor, so but that was a bummer that he wasn't going to jail like right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, the criminal case also gave me a 2-year order of protection, I guess. It didn't really do much. It maybe extended it a little bit,
Mm.
but I didn't have to be involved with that because it was like Illinois versus him.
Right, right, right.
But they did say, if it went to trial, I'd still have to be a witness. But he did end up taking a plea deal with them on January 20th, 2023.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, just to take a plea deal, he wasted a lot of money on his lawyer.
Well,
But
maybe
yeah,
his mom was patting his head and saying, that girl is just lying about you, honey. You're not that type of person.
right. I'm sure. Yeah. And I found out through all this that he had a teenage daughter. I did not know. Like, he
What?
had like a 13-year-old daughter. Yeah.
Jesus
I had
Christ.
no idea. Yeah. I mean, we only dated a month, but it was
Well, I
like,
mean, yeah,
wow.
but still, like, you think that would be something you might have, like, heard in passing, maybe.
Right. Yeah. There were no pictures of anything like that. And it's like, also, you have a daughter and you're fucking doing this to another woman? Like,
Yeah, that's fucked up.
yeah. So yeah, he ended up with 2 counts of window peeping, so it's a class A misdemeanor. Oh.
Not shit.
And yeah, and he got that on his public record plus mine on the public record. So there's 2 things against him. And that order of protection was even like stricter. Like I said, he couldn't have any weapons, which I guess that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. He could not possess illegal drugs. He couldn't consume any alcohol or be where alcohol is sold. He
Shit.
couldn't have Yeah, he couldn't have any cannabis and he couldn't drive at all. So I'm like, I don't know. I mean, maybe over those 2 years they like found out other stuff or because I think he had to take a like mental health evaluation too and stuff. And but
It very
yes,
well could have.
yeah. So I don't know. And that was for a year, I guess. So that got finished in 2024
Yeah.
for
Because
that. And
you said
nothing's
that,
happened since. So,
well, I mean, I wouldn't think anything would, but
well, yeah.
you never
Right.
know.
Yeah, I was a little worried because, like, I could have tried for another 2-year at the end of mine because, like, we only dated for a month and then 2 years later. So it's like, well, that's a pattern. But then I didn't want to spend the money and, like, nothing had happened and he couldn't drive and he lived, 45 minutes away now. And, like, I wasn't as concerned about it. And I just
Well,
didn't think the court would approve still.
and if anything did happen again, it's like, well, we don't have to wonder who this was.
Well, right. Yeah.
And all we have to do is figure out if he left his parents' house or his mom's house. and came up your way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that within
Yeah.
itself would probably be grounds enough to at least, detain him.
Well, yeah. I mean, since there's a history there too,
Yeah.
yeah, if anything ever happened, it'd be easier to get it again and stuff and to like arrest him again. Like, cause then, I mean, I don't know how long, I guess. I guess since they tried this for a misdemeanor, they can't use it as like a stalking maybe later or something. Cause then
Oh,
it'd show a pattern, a
well,
history.
but I don't know. I'm not a legal expert. I would just think it would look very poorly upon him to try to do that again.
Well, yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. I mean, I'm glad the police did end up believing it pretty fast, I guess, which I was not expecting, like, help that much. But where I live too is kind of small town. Like, it doesn't have as much crime, so they probably had a lot of time.
Well, that, and I mean, I don't think it wasn't like you were being extremely like methodical and rational about all of the reporting that you did. So,
Right. Yeah.
you know, that was probably
And it
like
was
a
every week.
right.
Something happened every single week.
If it would have been like once a couple every couple months, they probably would have blown you off. But the fact that it was
Right.
escalating week after week after week, it's like,
Yeah.
well, shit, we should probably keep an eye on this.
Right. Yeah, and they were doing patrols and everything too, like every night
Mm,
towards the end and stuff. So, yeah, so he was caught in 5 weeks. I mean, who knows, I guess, how long he was
yeah,
just watching.
yeah,
But once stuff started happening, then it just took 5 weeks. So that was good.
yeah.
But felt pretty long.
I bet it was the longest 5 weeks of your life.
Yeah. Plus, then, like, I feel like the rest of that year, I was probably on edge a little bit.
I don't think so. That's the fucked up part about like the selfish nature of people that do dumb shit like this. Like, you're not ever going to be the same you were before.
No.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Now there's still nights where I'll, like, think someone's out there, like, watching or something, like, get
Yeah.
paranoid. Yeah.
Like even if it's not something like that, even if it's just you're more hyper vigilant about your nighttime routine, like you're not going to be
Right.
able to get rid of that anymore. It's just
Yeah.
not going to happen. So,
Yeah. But now it's a lot safer. Like I said, I added all that stuff.
yeah, I mean, you got, in all honesty, like I said, I mean, the good that did come out of it was sometimes we think that, everything is just fine and we don't have to worry about anything. And not saying that you should always like have your head on a swivel, but you know what I mean? It's good to kind of pay attention a little bit closer
Oh,
now.
yeah. Right.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I was also thinking, like, I literally never opened my windows till, like, my boyfriend moved in now, like,
hmm
he opens the windows, but I literally would never open a single window. So it's like, good thing I never did and, like, accidentally left it unlocked or something. Like, literally everything was always tight, like,
yeah,
sealed tight.
yeah.
So,
Well, and it's probably way way different now that you have your boyfriend living with you
well,
too.
yeah,
So, I mean,
right.
it's like that extra level of comfort and security you have.
Yeah. He
So,
can't hear, he doesn't wake up to stuff though.
well, yeah, but if you hit him, I'm sure he'll wake up.
Well, just last night he was snoring, and I kept saying, "You're snoring. Hello, wake up! You're snoring." Like, and I was like pushing him. It took like a little bit. I mean, if I was like if something was happening, I would be much louder. I'm
Well,
sure he'd
sure.
wake up. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, no, it feels better. Yeah. The only thing is now my car's not in the garage because it was always in the garage before. But now with two cars, it's kind of hard to navigate between and stuff. So we just leave both of our cars out.
Well,
So
that's
now people
probably
could know if I'm home.
but that's probably a better thing. You know what I mean? Now they know that because you guys work roughly about the same time, right?
Well, yeah, but I liked that my car was because I think the night this guy was caught, like he probably thought I was already in at home because it was like
That's
9:30 when we were
true.
coming
Yeah,
back from
yeah,
dinner
yeah,
because he couldn't see my car. So
yeah,
that's why
yeah.
he
That's true.
was wandering everywhere or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't, yeah, it's been 3 years. It's been fine. Again, like if anything did happen, I would think it's him first. So.
Yeah, usual suspect number one, right there.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
but typically is the ex or the significant other or whatever, but
99.9% of the time.
yeah. That's my story. I survived. I
Yeah.
did buy a dagger from the Ren Fair. It's it's like, "What? If he comes up the stairs, I'm fucking stabbing him. I don't
Yeah.
care."
Hey, go for that armpit, Sarah. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean?
Okay. I was thinking the neck, but
Nah, because he's gonna try to reach out and grab you, so his arms are
uh,
already gonna be extended. You
right.
know what I mean? Just go for
That's
that
true.
armpit. Got that
That's
brachial
true.
artery right there, man. Be all right.
That's
Anyway,
true. Yeah.
enough of the morbid, stabby, twisting, murdering our stalker talk because that's not what we're saying. We're just saying
Well,
if
no.
were to
You
happen,
just gotta be prepared
that's it.
to
That's it.
protect yourself. Yeah.
So
Yeah. But I was very lucky.
yeah. Well, Sarah, you've got a good trend of good luck of getting in fucked up situations and somehow getting out scot free or relatively scot free.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, when we're offline, I could tell you other ones, but
no, it's fine. Yeah. Sarah, I've got all of the stories as
I'm
far as
sure,
that.
yeah.
So yeah, I've got you there too. So I completely understand where you're coming from. So,
Yeah.
but listeners, hope you guys enjoyed Sarah's retelling of a pretty fucked up situation in her life. So
Yeah.
like Sarah said, though, we'll have any resources down below. We could probably add something if you like some help links or something like that for people that
Yeah.
are being stalked or stuff like that. All of that will be linked down in the show notes below. As per usual, check us out on all social medias. Check out our Patreon, the Paranoid Perspective Podcast /Patreon.com. Got some extra perks over there for you as well. Share this podcast with a friend if you don't want to check out Patreon. That goes significantly further than you might think. And as always,
Remember, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not watching. See you next time on the Paranoid Perspective.